versus personal preferences. So purpose-driven decisions versus personal preferences. And this is a huge topic because I just dealt with this today. Every single day, I sit down with people and I coach them. And this is one of the biggest things that I found in success is that we all first need to determine. On my first Periscope, I talked about we have to first determine our purpose first with the 30 dreams exercise. And once you know your purpose, then the next step is really to understand how do you start aligning yourself towards that purpose. So welcome for those who just joined. We're on this series of today's topic is purpose-driven decisions versus personal preferences, and this series is how to determine this first part is how to determine your next step towards success. And so tonight we'll be talking about purpose-driven decisions. And I was just talking about the fact that there's so many people in our world today and welcome for those who join again. But there's so many people in our world today that we might have a purpose in life, and we might know what our goals are. But the hardest part is the little decisions you make every day determines your success. Right? Success is a series of small little decisions that you make on a daily basis. And so how do we align our decisions that are more towards purpose-driven ones than those towards preferences? And logically, that's a very easy thing to do. Logically, just do the thing that you know is right. But we are all emotional creatures, and we usually start to make decisions that we don't even notice. It's to do with how we feel, not necessarily where we want to go. And so I'll give you an example. A person I was talking about with today, we were supposed to be meeting once a week for coaching sessions for him. And so today, he's in the past, one of the times he canceled because his girlfriend's cat got sick, so he had to go pick him up. And I was actually gonna leave a wedding early just to meet the commitment with him because and he's not a paid client. This is a guy that he wants to do big things, and he's the potential leader that I want to include into my movement, into my organization. So I'm willing to meet once a week to coach him through some things to determine if he's really the right guy. And so I was going to leave the wedding early, and I heard that, oh, my cat's sick, so I got to cancel. So of course we had a discussion about that, and so we decided that once a week we're going to be meeting regularly. After that, he said, okay, I'll commit to meeting that regularly from now on. And today I got a text saying that, hey, I have to cancel. He says. I said, oh, cool. What's going on? He goes, well, my girlfriend's sick. I'm like, okay. Well, are you gonna leave work early for it? He goes, yeah, I might leave work an hour early. Are you still gonna go to school tonight? He has night classes. I'm still gonna go to classes tonight. So I said, okay, we should talk on the phone. So on the phone, we started getting into the discussion about his decisions on how he makes them. So I proceeded to ask him, are you at a point where you really know where you want to head to, and are you making those decisions towards that area, towards that direction? And of course we had that discussion, and one thing he didn't understand was that when you are faced with an emotional decision like that, of course you gotta look at the situation. If it's an emergency, you gotta be home for them, right? If it's not an emergency, they're gonna be homesick. Well, an hour later is not going to make that huge of a difference, especially if that hour you can spend to get you closer to where you want to go to. And so the key question I have for everybody, which I asked him, which I think this is the point where he broke through, was that I asked him, is your purpose, is your goal worth 1 hour of your week? 1 hour out of 100. Thank you for that comment there, Sherry. Thank you for that. And you guys, if you love the Periscope so far, give me hearts. Feel free to just press on the hearts in the bottom right corner there. And for those who just came online, we're going through a series, how to determine your next step towards success. Thank you for those hearts. And today we're talking about purpose-driven decisions versus personal preferences. So I was just finishing the story with this guy. So that really helped him. If I ask everyone, 1 hour out of 177 hours. In 107, I don't know how many hours in a week, I'm not that good at math, but 170 something hours. Is it really, just like exercise, as an example? Well, I don't have time to exercise. Well, 1 hour out of 177. I don't have time to read this book. Well, one hour out of 170. So we really sometimes have to align our decisions with what we think our values are. So that's purpose-driven decisions versus personal preferences. I deal with that every single day. And another conversation I had, and there's a question here. It says, "What if you fear success?" Well, I think that is just a different definition of what success is. And I know there are people who fear the idea of success, and I think that's more has to do with a self-image thing more than it is a success thing. Success, we know, is something that you actually want, but sometimes we don't feel we're worthy to have it, and that's an issue. So if you fear success, I think the first thing to look into is self-image, and there is an actual if you message me afterwards, I'll give you an assessment on self-image to be able to help you with that, and then that way you can determine, is it a self-image issue or maybe it's something else, right? So or that we are not ready. I think success, you are. So another person said, "What if we're not ready for success?" I think you're ready for. This is what you want, right? Success is defined by, this is the way you're supposed to live life, and this is the way you want to live life. You're always ready at any given moment to live the way you're supposed to, because you're made for that, right? And a lot of people get fooled to think that we are not ready because I don't have the education, I'm not prep, and that's another. Ironically, I dealt with that today as well. Somebody asked me about, well, you know what, I think I'll be more ready later on. Well, I think that later on never comes. Because later on, what we're thinking is there's a certain set of circumstances that has to be in place before you can be successful, and that set of circumstances will never come. Success is always going to be inconvenient. You're always not going to feel ready. You're going to always feel like you're the underdog, and it is the people that succeed are the ones that take the risk of going out there and doing it anyways, even if you don't know what you're doing. I got my first job that way. I didn't finish university. I had 2 years of university. I came out of that. I was mentored to go get a job. And one of the jobs was a very technical job that paid way above my pay scale. My mentor said, you know what? Apply for it anyways. What do you have to lose? And I did. I went for the interview and got the job. Right? Sherry says, sounds like confidence or low self-esteem issues. Right. Yeah, I agree with that. So it's a self-esteem issue. So I got the job, and that's it's because I risked it. I felt very inadequate, and the whole time I was in that role, I felt inadequate until I started growing myself, started learning, and we're never ever ready, everybody. Readiness is really just a fallacy. Right. A lot of people say that all the time. Hey, I'll meet with you when I'm ready to pursue success. Well, when I'm ready to pursue my dreams, when I'm ready to pursue my purpose. And that's the difference between personal preferences versus purpose-driven decisions. Personal preferences is, I don't prefer to do it right now because I don't feel right, right? Versus, thank you so much, Diane, for saying that. Purpose-driven decisions are that you have to have such a strong dream and purpose that you know this is what you're made to do in your life. And when that's the case, you will take all the risk. Ready or not, you jump into it, right? A good purpose is like this. It's almost like, for those who have children, for those who have, all of us have some loved ones, whether it's a spouse, a girlfriend, boyfriend, your kids, your parents. If somebody kidnapped your family and told you that, people in general don't want to get out of the comfort zone. That's absolutely true. So if somebody kidnapped your child or your parent or your loved one and told you that you won't see this person again unless you go and find $10,000. You will jump right into it. You wouldn't say, I'm inadequate to find $10,000. I don't even make $10,000, or let's say it's $100,000. You would do whatever it takes to find that money, or whatever that task that they gave you. What if they said, I kidnap your parents, and until you fulfill your purpose in your life, you will not ever see them again? Well, you will do whatever it takes to fulfill your purpose. You wouldn't say, I'm not ready to do that yet. you would just jump and you would do it because you have a strong enough reason to. And I believe in people, and I think that we all, as a human spirit, we all have what it takes to do it. It's just that something in you lied to you, some conditioning, somebody lied to you to tell you that you're not ready, you have to have a certain grade, a certain performance, you got to fit in a certain role, and those are all the junk that we got to get out of our minds before we can truly are ready to pursue success, right? So those are purpose-driven decisions. So the easiest way to look at this is that next time you're faced with a decision that is a tough one, it's an emotional one. Like for example, I was faced many years ago with my friend's wedding, which I loved. I loved my friends. I saw them become a couple together, and so I really wanted to be there for their wedding. However, I knew there was an important event that that could change the course of my life and my business and the things that I was doing. And so I explained to them, you know what, I'm so sorry, there's an event that I got to go to. And then and then she joked about it. Well, you always have business events, I understand, but this is so critical for my family right now, and I will make it up to you. And that's a hard one. And I actually even asked a couple of my mentors to make sure I'm on the right track. Because you know what? One day I still will do this. I am going to buy them the best wedding anniversary gift and vacation in their lives, and that's gonna bless them. And I bet you they'll say, I'm glad you missed my wedding because now you're able to buy me this big vacation. So I think it's more important that I celebrate their marriage, not celebrate their day of wedding, right? So that's a purpose-driven decision. And you know what my mentor taught me? He didn't tell me what to do when I asked him, what do I do about this decision? I really want to be there for their wedding versus my purpose. So he said, well, the easiest, every time I face these situations, he always says the same thing. He says, which decision will get you closer to your dreams? Which decision will get you closer to your purpose? Now, the challenge is for a lot of people is that we don't know what is our purpose, right? And when we know what our purpose is, that becomes the most important thing. And sometimes both options can kind of, is a little bit closer. They're kind of close together. So how do you make those decisions? Whichever gets you the best shot and chance at your success. Because some people will tell me, well, I don't know if I made either of the choices. I don't know which one for sure will give me success. No decision will for sure get you to success. It is which one gets you closer. And if you keep doing it that way, even if you chose the one that gets you closer and it ended up not gotten you closer to your success, well, if you did it over and over again that way, if you played it right, just like poker, you play the cards right, and you might lose the hand, but you will win the overall tournament if you play it right all the time. You'll win more than you lose, and and someone said there is success in the process. Yeah, if you just follow the process for success, you might lose sometimes, but you always win more than you lose long term. And that is why we need to make purpose-driven decisions versus personal preferences, right? And it's a hard thing because I hear a lot all the time. People struggle with this all the time because they're not thinking of the decision about which one gets you closer to a certain principle or a certain purpose. And that is the key to it. We have to think about what is the purpose, clarify that, and then think of which of the two will get you closer to that. That's your general guidance for purpose-driven decisions. Okay, so I have a lot more to give on that topic, but tonight that's what we're gonna end right there for that. Thank you for tuning in. For those that have tuned in, tomorrow, can't keep doing the same thing over and over again. Yep, then expect different results. Absolutely agree with you. That's like insanity says if you keep doing something over and over again and expecting different results. So thank you guys for comments and all that. This is not my first scope. Someone asked if this is my first scope. This is my second one. I'm very new to Periscope, so I don't even know how to add my own, how to follow me and all that stuff. So follow me on that. My Twitter is Cho Lim Vision. So CHOLIM, M as in Mary, and then Vision. Okay, Cho Lim Vision, CHOLIM Vision, and just follow me. Send me a message if you want more information about different things. I love giving free seminars on success, and I do that one-on-one with people all the time. So tomorrow we will be back tomorrow, and I will continue this series on. We're currently on the topic of how to determine your next step towards success. Tomorrow I will be doing a scope on finding fulfillment.